Hello everybody, this is Zio'sCreations. I wanted to do a quick overview of Leyta in his veiled and unveiled form. So I had enough pieces to build both versions of him. First I want to go over his unveiled form. So you can see he's very spiky in this form, but the same basic frame is the same for both of them. All of the silver pieces are changed out for red, and then the chest piece is switched out, as well as the shoulder pieces, and the feet are switched out as well. In his revealed form, he has the Mask of Duplication. This is what it looks like. This is the multi-color printed one that I showed off on one of my stories. So each of these pieces is printed off separate in different colors and then glued together, and I clear coated it with a 2-part urethane. It's a bit messy, but the urethane is really nice. I'm gonna make a new one before I go to Brick Fair. This is his old one, where I just painted it. Hopefully the new one will have the correct color matching. This character uses several bootleg pieces, as you can probably tell. On his arms there are 5 length, bright green. Holding his torso pistons right here, there's the axle to mixel joint, mixel cup piece. His vines, they're made up of recolored mixel pieces. This is mock-up of the module. And there are stud reverser pieces holding on so I can get it tiled on both halves. And in his lower legs, there are these, the special bracket pieces that come in Sembo sets. There's 4 in black on his legs holding the Nexo tiles, but those are the only necessary bootleg pieces to have him how he looks. I do have a couple recolored pieces, just small pieces, like the clip pieces, modified tile clip pieces here, and some transparent green Exoforce hands in his upper arms. His veiled state, he has a bright green Miru, transparent bright green Miru. This is 3D printed and painted. You could just paint a transparent neon green one, and the transparent neon green one looks fine on him, but I think this is most feasible for people to have. Other than that, it looks fairly simple. I tried to make these characters somewhat feasible to have built as a kit. There's some fiddly bits still, but overall this isn't super fragile. The only fragile pieces are these, which fall off pretty easy. This is the second character that I designed after Veda. You'll be seeing him more soon. I did bring him to a couple of conventions already, but I really like especially how I was able to incorporate a lot of transparent bright green into his build, especially this combination on his thighs. These are decently cheap on Bricklink still, and I just removed the printing, and then these Nexo shields aren't too expensive either. The most expensive piece on him is probably the 4-link shells and the Hero Factory heads on his arms. The rest are fairly easy to get, fairly cheap. I do have instructions for this version of Leyta already made. I was experimenting to see how easy it was to make those. But I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Oh, I almost forgot. There are painted bootleg pieces for his hands as well. And I also have 3D files for those as well. They're bright green. That's the only other recolor. You could switch them out for a black if you didn't want to use the bootleg piece, and that would look pretty good as well. But yeah, I'd say Leyta is probably the most fun I had building. It was really nice trying to make both the forms, and in his story he would technically have other forms, since this red armor is all organic, either coating the armor he already has or new armor that's been grown from his plant life abilities. He's a Toa of air and plant life, and his mask allows him to grow very large structures pretty quickly. Just give a quick turn around. Oh, and these pouches, he does have some small potion bottles I made for him. I'm not sure where they are. I couldn't find them. But he's usually a healer type, especially when he's in his veiled form. But this is his sort of attack armor that he grows. He was the main impetus for having everybody have 2 forms, even though some of these characters they don't really have a very good distinction between those 2 forms. The later ones that I did have better, like Terran, he's going to be probably the best example of 2 forms. He has a suit of armor that makes him look quite different from his veiled form. But yeah, Leyta was he basically can't find the word. He informed the rest of them, since he was the second character that I made. Veda was sort of the prototype. I had some of them built before I came up with the concept. But Leyta here, he is sort of the first one that coalesced and sort of set the standard for the other 4 that I made. And probably the best example of how different that these characters can look in their 2 different forms. I kind of rambled in this. I hope to see some of you at Brick Fair in 2025, and I'll be bringing all these characters and maybe one more. I have them in the works, but I'm not sure. It's been very nice hearing everybody's thoughts on this, and I thank you all for your support and basically making it me able to come to Brick Fair. A lot of the sales I made recently, they allowed me to get the budget to be there, and I'll have some things there to sell as well. So if you're exhibiting there, feel free to stop by and see what I have. See you guys later.